Hello everyone, it's Pat with our Oracle card reading and messages for this upcoming week, starting with today the 12th and going through to the 18th, 19th. Before we get started on that, I'm going to do my usual pick an archangel card. But, I do feel going into this week that there's some heavy celestial influences that are going on. I talked in last week's video about the fact that this month we have a lot of lunar energies that are affecting us. There's 2 full moons this month. One already happened at the beginning of the month, and there's another one at the end of the month. And so this is our second blue moon month, just in the first quarter of the year. Blue moons don't generally happen that often. And we had a couple of eclipses in there. So if you're kind of a full moon sensitive person where you really feel affected by it, it's probably bringing up quite a bit of things for you right now. Full moons do tend to shine a light on things. But in addition to that, the full moon stuff we have going on, or the moon cycles, Mercury retrograde also starts on the 22nd of March. And prior to that, there's a period called the shadow period, which is what we're in right now, where we start to feel things slow down. Things start to take longer. I mean, I know for myself today, just getting this reading out, this is the 3rd attempt I've made at it today. So, with Mercury going retrograde, it highlights communications, and communications can go awry. Things can get misunderstood. And as I understand, our Mercury retrogrades this year are all going through fire signs. So there may be some intensity around it. So I guess what I'm saying is, or I'm preparing you for, is that in the next couple of weeks, as we finish out March, there may be a bit of intensity going on, both with, in your personal relationships, maybe in your work relationships, and as well as in the world at large, because there's all sorts of weather-related things going on right now. I know where I am, we're bracing for another storm. So that being said, let's see who's helping, what angels working with us this week, and what their messages are for us. We have Archangel Uriel with this message of, you know what to do. And it says, trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. So with the lantern here, Archangel Uriel is also an angel who shines light on things. When you're feeling confused and stuck, he has this lantern that kind of lights the next step on the path for you. You won't necessarily be able to see the whole path, but the next step he will help light up for you. And Uriel's influence as an archangel is very intellectual. He tends to bring through a lot of ideas when you call upon him as the answers to what you're seeking out. So when you call upon Uriel, and definitely he's here with us this week to say, he's calling upon and reminding us of our own inner knowledge, okay? As we encounter situations, even sometimes where you think you don't know what to do, sometimes you can be surprised at just how much, knowledge you've already acquired, and that you actually do know what to do, okay? But he's urging you to call upon your own inner wisdom and inner knowledge in this situation. There's a part of you that already does know what to do. It may be just a matter of paying attention to your own feelings, your own intuition about it, and moving forward with that, okay? Because once you get clear on that, the next steps become more clear. But call upon him for his help. He has that lantern that shines the light on the next steps in the process, okay? Or where to go next, where to look next. All right, let's see. I have Archangel Gabriel's cards here, so I'm going to pick some from her. And I do want to look for another card deck that I had out that I don't see right now. But maybe I put it away. Anyways, let's see what's going on. That's a lot of cards. Too many for this reading. All right, so we'll look for the beginning of the week, the middle of the week, the end of the week. here. Oh, all right. Okay, so we've got some interesting messages that come out. The beginning of the week shows up with this message: allow yourself to receive. And it says, open your arms to welcome the blessings and answered prayers that God is sending to you. I got this same message a little bit earlier today when I was filming my cable TV show. It came out in the Archangel deck as gifts from God. And so it signals or heralds at the beginning of the week, hold some answered prayers for you. But it's about allowing yourself to receive it. And I know that sounds strange. You might think like, well, why wouldn't I let myself receive something? But, sometimes there are people, and, we all get into spaces where someone offers you help, or, hey, you need a hand with that, blah, blah, blah. And like, no, got it. And, we brush off somebody else's help. Or sometimes people have a lot of shame around allowing themselves to receive help, whether it's financial help, material help, or what have you, from other people. But in this instance, it's reminding you that, it's maybe you've prayed for help, maybe you've asked for help, or we're hoping for help. It's about allowing yourself to receive it. And it just maybe signals that it's coming in and you finally are in that space where you're allowing, okay? And welcoming it, because it's providing to you something that you're either in need of or you were desiring. So that's the beginning of the week. The middle of the week comes up with this message of daily practice. It says, the more you practice your new skills, the more comfortable and confident you become. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but for some of you out there, it's indicating that there's something new that you've been involved in. Maybe you've learned a new instrument. Maybe you are, there's some new process at work that you've had to tackle. It could be any one of those things, but it's reassuring you. I feel like it's a card of reassurance that the more you do it, the easier it will get and the more comfortable it will be for you. Some things in the beginning, when we first go through them, they seem hard, they seem difficult. You can't remember all the steps. But it's urging you, the daily practice, doing it quite often, will make it easier for you. And this includes, even meditation. If you're starting a new practice of meditation, the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. Okay? And so you're immersing yourself in that the middle of the week. And then towards the end of the week, we have this nurture yourself time. It's coming into the weekend. And it's time, it says, investing time in self-care now will yield more energy for you later. All right? And that's an important, thing to take in here, is that taking care of yourself now is important for the benefits that it'll bring later in terms of having more energy. Don't wear yourself down. Don't wear yourself don't spread yourself too thin, okay? Friday is the end of the work week, although there's a lot of us that work right into the weekend. Now, maybe you feel like you've had to, maybe you felt like you've needed to provide extra funds for yourself or additional incomes, what have you. But don't forget how important it is to take some time out to nurture your own spirit, your own body, because it will herald benefits later on. And I also want to say, don't be afraid of indulging in something that's in self-care, okay? Because right now it's important for uplifting your energies, okay? Especially because I know here in the Northeast where I am, we're headed into another storm. There's another one on its way in. So our daily practice might be in shoveling that we're doing in the middle of the week. Let's hope not. Let's hope it's something else. But anyways, it just may mean by the end of the week we're ready for a little R&R, and to that it's important to remember to take care of yourself and not just keep grinding away at things all the time. Okay, so now I want to pull on one more deck here, to add additional insights and see if we get any additional messages. I love this Angels, Gods, and Goddesses deck, in addition to the one that we get from Gabriel. So let's see what other messages. Okay. So this is a card that says Goddess of the Shadows. And it says, what you perceive to be your dark side holds a hidden treasure. What does that mean? Well, what it can mean is something that you perceive to be something negative about yourself can actually be your superpower. And I'll give you an example. I mean, once upon a time, I always thought that one of my negative characteristics was that I never did anything consistently. I was always trying a bunch of different things, and I used to get so mad at myself. I would say, oh, if you just did something consistently, you'd make a lot more progress. But there are those of us who are designed to be explorers, and we do try out a lot of different things, and ultimately we become very wise about what does and what doesn't work. And we can share that knowledge and information with other people. So, you know, it's just symbolic of something that you perceive to be a dark side of yourself, or not, it's not so much dark, but something you might perceive to be negative about yourself is really a superpower. It holds a hidden treasure for you, either in something you realize about yourself, or maybe you change your perspective about it, something along those lines. It's one of the ways of being aware of something we perceive as negative is really something that ultimately produces good. You know, the way that sadness and suffering can bring about a blossoming of new things that are better and serve us better. So that is a message from them. And let's see if we have one more card wants to go. Oh, okay, it does. Goddess of Awakening. This is a wondrous time of exploration, romance, and creativity. So, as I look at this picture, I get new things are waking up for you. Okay, the light, have the star that's shining the light. Okay, you have Uriel who's shining the light. All right, so there's a lot, definitely, even in this card at the beginning of the week, there's, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like streaks of light coming in over the angel in that picture. So there's definitely, and this is starlight in here, which I think is interesting. But it's, and we are also coming into that time. I mean, it's almost what we consider to be the, first day of spring. That comes along somewhere in, the end of March as well. So it is about the fact that there's more light coming in. The daylight's coming back, at least to those of us in the Northern Hemisphere anyways. So, I feel like it has positive influences going on here. There's new things in you, new awarenesses, new beginnings that are waking up. Okay. The next steps in the way are being lit up for you. All right, so those are our messages for this week. I hope you have a lovely week. Take care. Stay safe if you're up here in the Northeast. And, stay safe wherever you are, but we're about to enter a storm. So anyways, thank you so much for listening and watching, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Take care, everyone.